their lids blew off seeing this composition from OpTic. I can't wait to see what it produces for them. If they can perform on this, it shows so much flexibility in a composition that OpTic can bring to the table at a very important time. And the guard as well, Sideshow made a good point. That role composition they have is just so sturdy. Can it topple the green wall?
All right, here we go. Trailblazer actually blocks off Elbow with that information. There goes the toxic screen. And Valyn is going to play inside the poison cloud, gets completely caught off guard. And now, as the guard themselves have to rotate back in with that 3-man stack through Elbow, they're going to have to give away this plant and really fight for ground here. Not a lot to work with. But as Jonah is able to tally up one elimination, maybe there's a chance to open up the back of the site, and that indeed does start to unfold. Screen goes up once again. Victor misses an opportunity on the first, dashing away as Sayaplayer. All three guard members still holding their lives, but only for a small time maybe. Health pools are low. FNS now for the 1v3. Tallies the first cleanly. More shots coming out. Recon Bolt just a delay, but no one's on the defuse, but it is enough to allow him to peek, and the guard retake comes through successfully.
Try to get that kind of peak within the smoke rising. Guard come up big on that, and the first time we see OpTic use the flash, Ye was dashing with that guiding light. So speed behind the utility, and with it seems to be kind of a bit of the play OpTic will use. Here, Trent doing some dancing moves to just dodge out Victor. From Victor's point of view, it seemed like they were pretty clean, but Trent the one over here doing what he can and just setting up really nicely on the corner as guard are able to come back with a nice pistol round on that.
All right, here we go, Rev. First time through these 3 maps that we will not get essentially a full force buy out of OpTic after losing the pistol. Just the one Marshall.
Great point.
So it will be a pretty traditional anti-eco. And the question that everyone's mind has to be on is, what will the stylistic choices be for both of these two teams? Is there going to be significant control towards mid? Is there going to be some sort of force through halls? A lot to be learned about both these teams.
Looking at the compositions, I always favor a flash from a sky over a wall, like a Viper, than you would the 0 point. I'm sorry, the flash from KO. But the 0 point offers you so much as well in information. So how is the information game as well played in this scenario too? Here, mid is where they kind of try and get a touch-and-go feel of where the members of the guard might be. It's still important to be able to dodge that headhunter or even find out where you might be able to find Sayaplayer.
The stack, though, from OpTic, convincing control, obviously through middle, but that toxic screen keeps the guard's defenders at A planted. So a lot of trust has to come through that the guard can hold their ground. Net rendezvous away after finding first blood. Second opportunity onto Marved, takes good use of it. Valyn from the opposite side, so good with it. Yep, why not? Prime Gaming flawless. It's a good idea from OpTic, but better defense from the guard.
Clean info. They had for the Flawless Prime Gaming. They had a lot of the map pushed. We had Sayaplayer with that Marshall peeking down a cave. Nobody was coming there, so you can start to assume and lean towards the B side, mid side. The rendezvous from net was really nice because first kill is nice and close. You don't really want to be close on an eco round because that's where your opponent get the advantage. So backs up, creates distance, and they start to clean up the site. Overall, nice round from the guard. Let's see what they get for the bonus here.
Well, off the barriers, lots of focus once again over to mid map. Same elbow push coming through, same Trailblazer also in the mix, but it's the guard who are able to tally a first blood. Valyn holding forward, and that is greedy.
Wait a minute.
Why not, though? 3 kills for Valyn with the Spectre, even wants the 4th. But FNS will eventually punish. I hesitate to use the word, though, because OpTic are completely caught in tatters. And Jonah's timing perfect, leaving FNS for 1v3.
It looks like the guard do not want to figure out what OpTic's doing. They're saying we are going to put our foot down on every round. OpTic will have to react to the guard's play. And I think, again, that's where the lineup. That's where the guard become the strongest, when they dictate the gameplay, right? Because they have these big fraggers that really start to draw a lot of the opponent's agency. And okay, I may need 2 people to guard Sayaplayer here. It's Trent. Let's make sure we have 2 on that, right? So if the guard gets in that mode, they almost become unstoppable here. And they've checked a few of the boxes to start that as FNS tries to clean up this round 3-0. Now for the guard on to Breeze as we learn just how these teams take to the map.
Massive advantage here early for the guard, obviously the case with weapons, but talk about tempo, pacing, and the trends. the guard have established a front foot, and it's actually changed how OpTic want to try to get in mid. They still want mid, but they're changing how they're looking at it, knowing that this elbow stack has been a problem. And OpTic will get the clearance they want. This comes down to, can you find any angles with the sheriffs and marshals as they look towards the site?
That was a good point too, Shift. It's that conditioning that we've seen the guard put towards elbow here. OpTic maybe can find a frag out of that if that's where guard members are gonna be. Ye may be able to find a return on the investment of a sheriff, and he does. Vandal is now in his hands as they take to the map even slower for the next pick.
And they know net is tagged, by the way. I mean, you heard the pretty audible dink that came through, so you know that one of the defenders on B may have called for assistance, and I think OpTic are thinking, well, if net calls for help, we should have numbers to get over towards A. So they bait the fragment out. They get the read onto Jonah, not once, but twice. As crashies still seems to favor this 1v1 with a Marshal. Hawk will go forward. That will allow the guiding light to find a little bit of value, but Jonah on the counter flash, so much value, holding on the top of the logs. This is a solo defense, by the way. The guard on the other side of this is largely playing kind of individual spots, and this is all of a sudden really turned out favorably for the guard.
Yeah. I mean, the push that the guard had actually put them out of position. Like you said, OpTic rotating away from the play that would have given them the advantage. And the guard able to put themselves in a great spot because of that push, right? Sayaplayer was in caves this time. Give the team more information to work off of, and the guard's going to shut you down even faster, especially if you're on a rough buy. So now we head into round 5. A big buy here with the operator now coming out for Ye. Victor is 2 away from the operator. We'll see if there's alt orb focus there. And the tour de force is up for net with Sayaplayer here. If we get quad ops coming back and forth, 2 ops on each side going back and forth, Shift, oh my word. Like, I'm not going to stop smiling. What an interesting game so far.
Well, the creativity from the guard enabled by not just the Viper's Pit, but also the tour and Saya holding the op mid. All of it leading to success. Not even in conglomeration with one another, just individually. Ye feeling feisty, denied by Sayaplayer as the second kill comes through. And OpTic are getting absolutely manhandled on this map.
And it seemed like, you know, Shift, to talk about this, it kind of seemed like that opening pick was the thing that happened. FNS there peeking mid it was supposed to happen, sorry. FNS there peeking mid, it was dry, right? There was nothing there. A lot relied on what was going to happen out of the big buy in this round, and it didn't for OpTic.
It's just advantages galore for the guard.
Holy
I mean,
moly.
this is already just different all the way through. I mean, the only thing that OpTic has really kind of avoided is JonahP on this KO, but it doesn't make a difference because now the economy is so hefty that it's not just tools with the ultimates that are starting to be earned, but you have the ability of running this double scope setup where you've got net watching one cross Sayaplayer or the other. It's just, there has not been a response for OpTic yet to put pressure onto A, and you have to feel like the guard is feeling so comfortable with these little dynamic switch ups with their defenders.
And you think, is that kind of pressure now from elbow from OpTic still a read on that play? And then a reread by the guard. You go towards elbow for the first 3 rounds. Round 4, you don't. Round 5, you set up with an operator on it to see if OpTic still want that early fight. Yes, they do, and it's Ye. What a way to open up that round. Usually Ye's the one grabbing first bloods here. So OpTic call a timeout. How do they sort themselves out here to figure out what the guard is really doing? And honestly, they're just playing very, very good fundamentals right now and being able to get a bit of space, read the map, and read the call correctly.
And you have to kind of wonder, and, you know, Josh had brought this up on the desk asking the question about how much do you really trust? I mean, it doesn't say this verbatim, but I'm paraphrasing. You almost start to wonder, do you get a value out of Marved, who very rarely, if at all, plays flashes? And you would normally look for a toxic screen flash setup to execute to A. But it's almost like OpTic don't want to even bother dealing with the KO whatsoever, so we're just going to avoid that completely. And I don't know, the longer this half goes on, the more I think that's a mistake.
Watch the action here. We'll talk about that. Oh, just a quick up shot. I think Sky is one of those agents, and this is not to say Marv hasn't trained it, but that does require the knowledge of...
Yikes.
Oh, my word. Valyn coming up huge there. They push out mid. The guard is just... The anti-ecos is we're in your face for that mid strat. Wow, shit.
It's just... There is no concern at all for the guard of what's coming through caves. They haven't been tested on it, so, hey... We get a read that you're going to try to flash peek us through mid. We'll just send our defenders through B tunnel, challenge you, force you to peek through these spokes and toxic screens, and there just isn't an answer for OpTic whatsoever. You have to have it here, though. That's what we're really building towards. You've got 4 ultimates ready to go, full weapon purchase. You have to find value, but the guard are going to bring double scopes back to the mix again.
Yeah. And we might, as I was saying before, we might just be seeing that, as you mentioned, the not being as synergized with following this util as making it work. There, a quick identifier. It's pretty easy to see where somebody might be. It might be close, but I don't think he was ready for that close shift. Oh my.
It's if the guard are saying, if you don't want to take case, we will. Valyn flashed beyond recognition, though. Forces OpTic's play through the doors. Null command comes out. Seeker's already mixed, but still no one clears off caves. That's the spike carry of crashies down. Sure, of course, Jonah will kneel for a moment, but you know exactly where OpTic are coming from. The reveal comes out. Sayaplayer getting the information. Trust the knives, and why wouldn't ya? Victor, last one left, stuck behind logs. Nothing there. Guard still flawless defensively, up 7-0.
So cool by the guard. Actually, one of my favorite strategies to do an attack FPS is kind of smother an area with one guy, right? Oh, of course he's alone. He just kind of walked in here, and Trent lurks because it's so unexpected somebody else would be there, as well as the kill coming up in that situation from the KO made it even better. It just, that kind of stuff makes me so happy to see, and the guard are continuously able to shut down OpTic here with little strategies like that, varying up a situation and getting in the mind of OpTic and not allowing their game sense to get them on the right side of that frag.
Well, here we go. 0 point out reads how many members for OpTic are stacked through caves. Not feeling it, though. Still inches forward, waiting for a peek. Flash comes out. Tries to time the shot and hits it correctly. Yay, shut down. There's a Vandal waiting just in case Net needs that to help defend with Jonah. And even though OpTic are pushing forward, Jonah's still got a lot of utility to work with. Although the Recon Bolt will reveal him. That'll allow an opportunity for Marved to find 1 kill, then crashes to follow up off the Hunter's Fury. Counter coming out at a Trent. That'll stop the spike from being planted, and even though OpTic are on, they're not safely able to get a plant off.
You just see what OpTic has to put up with, right? They had a perfect flash, a perfect peek after that flash. They waited for the util. Net still hits the shot. Like, you can't do much more. Victor's going to try, though, coming back with the tour de force here. A 2v2 for OpTic to possibly put a round on the board for them.
I beg your pardon. I didn't realize the spike had gotten fully planted. It looked like it was taken off at the last second, but this spike is down and ready to go. OpTic trying to hold the post plant 2v2. Sai moving quickly. Shorty in hand, able to catch out one.
Victor.
Now it's the 1v1. Drum peeks it, but Victor shuts it down. OpTic on the board.
A huge, huge round. And you just trust the method, right? They got shot on the way in, but they powered through. OpTic got themselves on the site, started to identify quite a bit, varied up a little bit of how the strats have been going from round to round. Checked all their corners this time, right? I think there's a little bit more going through their head here before they get into their flow. But the timeout is bringing a little bit of fruit for them, and that's exactly what they need. A lot of ults used there, as you can see. OpTic charging back up. But so is guard, so this could be a time to start to strike back properly.
Viper's still held down to by Valyn.
Pit, by the way.
Yep. Very nicely called. Trailblazer looks to find intel, but that's about it. 0 point will push them back as a number of OpTic members were revealed. And this is just a bait rotation back. They may actually catch a timing here. Net is trying to push through, and OpTic are just happy to hold ground for the moment. Even I'll joining to re-clear, but that's the problem. You have to clear still so much space. And Net's timing is also exquisite. 2 good kills for the guard. Barrel seen. How about a third?
Oh my gosh. It's like lay out the beach chairs. They're getting taken down where they buy gun shift. Oh, Valyn pushing up as well. There isn't any part of this map that is safe. Guard building sandcastles everywhere right now and keeping them protected. Now they just can. They are on the hunt. crashies has a little bit of blood in the water. He gets a 1v1, and that's one of the bigger ones, as he may get droned out before the plant's over.
He's going to commit. All 3 members of the guard coming from the same direction revealed. Still takes the corner peek. Ill-advised, I would say, from most people's point of views. And Jonah will definitely make that the case. 8-1 through 9. Guard still looking pretty comfortable.
And it was just a slip-up? Question mark?
Question mark?
Oh, question mark? OpTic can't hold it for 2. The guard strike back right away, and then that's a bit of that reset money. that we talk about. We don't see it too often, but that's one that hurts when you have been on max loss money, which is 2,900. You get reset. You have a bit of money from your win. So if you lose again, you only get 1,900. And now we see OpTic trying to work with that buy here. Still a Vandal for Marved. There's going to be a Seekers there. I'm trying to see what that buy could be into, but it's just going to be for him. And with the money he has, they are going to keep trying to put those little options on the table. Down 8-1 versus the guard, who's been playing immaculate.
And I still hold to the point that in the winners finals, the guard was just getting outpaced, out-tempoed on both two maps that we've seen. That has not been the case. The guard is not hesitant to take initiative and make sure they're at least finding trades in these first blood engagements. They were getting battered and bruised in those opening 30 seconds. That's not been the case today.
It's been a paradigm shift for how they take that situation now. There's this drone going. Not really finding too much for them. And just keeping mid safe. So that means Crashy could have a good rotation here late into the round, but man, Sayaplayer is just so patient with these situations. Shift, oh my word!
Even off the tag, still retrains the focus to get the kill, and now the focus from the front, too good. And, you know, maybe there's something to be said about why OpTic doesn't like to go A in those opening rounds. Maybe because it's just, how do we get through JonahP? There hasn't been an answer for it for a lot of teams. This KO defensively just denies Sky so darn quick.
Wow. I'm just remembering this is our first breeze we've seen from these teams in quite a while. And the guard seem to be firing on all cylinders. The double up for them is now fully out. It could be a triple one if Net wants to start switching back and forth and going up akimbo in the situation. Oh my word. Let's see what the OpTic can do here. Grabbing these last two rounds for OpTic. We'll focus on how they can try to do that now, Shift, because it's been a lot of what the guard's been doing, and they've scored all the points, so it's been hard not to talk about them. But OpTic still looking to start it off. Trade, though.
But, yeah, steps too far away from the rendezvous. But even still, that's something that will lurk in the minds of Ye for rounds to come. Maybe not even just in this map. Saying, all right, Nat wants to get aggressive versus me now all of a sudden? Okay. And how about Jonah? Just sneaking out of double doors. FNS is on his lonesome. No help anywhere. But these Seekers actually made a system to at least reveal that there are players nearby. And as he turns, he's good for a first. Marv able to keep things interesting with a 2v2 at hand and a spike. But they're not actually confidently going to plant at B. They want to rewrap this all the way back over towards the A site. And if the guard get a read on this, they may actually beat him to the site.
Slowly. Oh, nice job by Victor here. Playing that cat and mouse. Marv's already? No way.
Yep. This is exactly the third person cam we need. That is a risky play with the spike to try to recut mid. So now Victor with the op. 1v2. 20 seconds. The guard knows the spike is down. Quick shot comes through. Back over to the headhunter. Nothing. The guard up 10-1 Riv. Holy.
Even if not ready for these situations, guard still finds a way. Valyn with a quick flick there to be able to drop the spike. Like you said, a very risky situation. The movement of the round left a lot up for chance there, and maybe they were thinking, I don't have full look on archways to spawn. We need to come through mid since I can have a clear look on you there. That is a tough call, and the guard made it look easy for them. 10-1 here. As they pick up another round on Breeze, and OpTic must just be stunned at this point.
It's OpTic's pick, Riv. I know for a fact the desk is going to hit on that pretty hard. What do you mean you're going to pick this map you haven't played and then look like this? That's got to be the first words out of either Ender or Sideshow's mouths with the figure. Nat tested. Orb picked up, gives Ye blades. And Nat has him caught in a bit of a corner at the moment. Yeah, he knows it. Tags it just for reinforcement of that point. And Marved, who sneaks over, is good for the double. That'll open the floodgates to B.
That's big. If this is actually a round, OpTic kind of slows it down. They don't use this util, this composition they've been putting together. They just go back to fragging. Marved with the quick double dry peek there. And like you said, Shift, opening things up. Looks like B is going to be their haven for now. Can they make it? A 10-2. Just a little bit.
What point does FNS try to move forward? He says now, has a 1v1 with the blades and takes the double. That may just secure the round, but Jonah's still in a position after getting the suppression out, that he may still work forward with an opportunity to isolate here. Sees the shoulder of one, but he loses track of where Ye had gone to, and will finish the half with OpTic taking 2 on the offense. I think a lot of people will say that may not be good enough. We'll see when we come back after the break. Where we didn't know what would unfold, and I guess you could still say that, but for the guard they say, okay, now we know why they let this map through the pool in the first place. Allow OpTic to pick it, and it's a 10-2 half riv. Must-win pistol here for OpTic.
Yeah, Shift, one team is on vacation here for sure right now.
Facts.
Guard is feeling good. Ordering another one. And they kick back for an offensive side now. Let's see what they can do. Halls may be played with a little bit by 2 here, as the 0 point does kind of focus out that area to start things off.
And I just love the fact that the guard is taking this in the first place. crashies a lot of tension on what he wants to watch from this position because his defenders are forward, including FNS. Toxic Stream goes down. Blessed is the timing. Can he find the kill? Good help from Ye. But Trent is able to respond. Ye weakened up, also does call, so it's a 2v2 engagement on the site, and this position through Halls still favorable for the guard, including the read in the last 2 as the spike will get planted.
Either heard them or saw them both. The call is there. The jump down from Victor. Shift possibility in the 2v2 for OpTic to start off on a good foot.
But what do they have to clear? The last guiding light's already been spent. Trent holding on the pyramids. Over the top of the logs. Shots are windy, but as Sayaplayer clears off the back, it allows numbers to the post point. Recon bolt out. Marved looking for a timing to punish, but cannot. And the guard go to 11 that quick.
Halls has not had a lot of attention this map, Shift. Maybe once or twice from OpTic. Guard start their pistol round with it. And they start it quick. Instant rendezvous going in. You could see the intention of Nat drawing potential audio, drawing aggression as he could get out safely. And Guard, again, continue the pace from halftime. They go for a Vandal on the second one. And this isn't kind of a Vandal because I'll have Bladestorm next round jet by. This is just a Vandal to secure the round versus OpTic.
Ye has to hit a shot up here. Marshall enhanced force buy for OpTic. I mean, it's a must. You have to have something here. But interestingly enough, the guard really don't do too much with the position through Halls. It's instead just the full flood behind the toxic stream. Defensively, good reveals coming through. OpTic punish, but the push with the numbers result in even exchange. crashies caught in a corner, completely blinded behind recognition. And up top, OpTic cannot stop the plant. Post plant situation 4v3.
Yeah, this gets sticky now. OpTic has these marshals they can use. Maybe the headhunter too. Scratch that. Take it out. Valyn comes up with the bite. But once they got that sonar bolt over, really nicely done by OpTic to just start picking off the members of the guard. Now this fuel's going to drop shift.
Yeah, the problem is Ye's giving up his position by spamming through. Valyn ready for it on the opposite side of the site. Nat is good for it. And this vacation, well, I don't know if you knew this or not, Rib, but for the guard, apparently they got the all-inclusive deal. 12-2 the current count. And OpTic not in a good spot financially still as they have to force, hoping to extend the map.
You might have some trouble, sorry, sanding your toes. Some people like that. Just 2 rounds here for OpTic, and they are going to push a buy into this to keep themselves alive on it. And this is so much momentum from the guard, too, to bring to the next map. Every team should be able to kind of just shake it off. But the players are going to be coming in with confidence, and there's definitely something to be said about what that feeling does to a player's opening frags and confidence in taking fights. Guard seems to be reeling right now as they go for another A hit. FNS is trying to answer with the Sheriff.
Ain't quite not going to land, though. Sayaplayer forward. Sure, why not? Easy double. Valyn on the plant. Viper's Pit already a part of the equation. How do you clear this if you're OpTic? I think the rhetorical response of everyone at large is you don't. That seems to largely be the case. Marved looking for heroics. None will be found. 13-2. Put a lid on it. This was a narrative we said it might just be round by round as a chapter.